Hi everyone, welcome back to AP World History Essay Writing. And the focus of this DBQ module is the thesis. Alright, your thesis is the answer to the prompt. It must be a historically defensible claim. That means you must be able to defend your answer. And it must respond to all parts of the question. I require that it's written only in the introduction. And there must be 3 answers. That is definitely the minimum, 3 answers. If you chose to write about more than 3 answers, that's fine, but the minimum is at least 3. So, think of your prompt as your question and your thesis as your answer. Now, to earn the point for this category, you must write a thesis that responds to the entire prompt and outlines the specific arguments you'll make based on a correct utilization of the documents. Right? So you've developed an accurate thesis that responds to the entire prompt. And in doing so, you're going to utilize the documents based on correct interpretations to support the argument you're making. Remember, an essay is an argument. It's not a story. And you definitely need to avoid generalizations that don't reflect reasonable interpretations of the documents. If it's just random pieces of information, especially if they're not specific, they're probably not going to help your essay in any way. So you need to avoid generalizations like that. Okay, some of the common errors in thesis writing include merely rewriting the prompt or presenting an answer to only some parts of the prompt. And using words from the prompt can be useful when developing your context and presenting your answers, but that's not the focus of your thesis or the introduction paragraph itself. Remember, you're writing an answer to that prompt. So think about the example we had earlier, right? Analyze the similarities and differences in the civilizations of Mesopotamia and Egypt in the period 2700 BCE to 1000 BCE. So your thesis will be specific similarities and differences between those civilizations, okay? Your task is to analyze, right? And that's what the prompt wants. The prompt wants an analysis. So what are you analyzing? The similarities and differences. Okay, so for this particular prompt, you need similarities and differences in order to address all parts of the question. You can't just do similarities, you won't get the point. You can't just do differences, you won't get the point. You need to have both. And you got to keep in mind, if you don't write an acceptable thesis, it's hard to earn really many of the other points for the essay because you don't have a correct answer all of those documents are applying to. And you don't have accurate analysis because the thesis is wrong. So you must have an acceptable thesis. And again, the task to analyze, that's examining something critically by breaking it down into several parts. Here's my issue. I'm going to break it down into 3 separate answers, right? That's your analysis. Okay, and this one, you're analyzing similarities and differences. Where? Mesopotamia and Egypt. When? 2700 BCE to 1000 BCE. And you need to stay within the time period for the entire essay. You might, in your analysis, in your body paragraphs, you might be able to use maybe different time periods because your answer had an impact at a later time. But that's definitely not the focus of the essay. You do need to do the best that you can to stay within your time period. So I've got 2 examples of an unacceptable thesis. If you're thinking to yourself, oh, similarities and differences in these 2 civilizations. Boom, there's my thesis. Not at all, because you don't tell me what the similarities and differences are. What they are, that's the thesis. That answers the question. Just simply restating the prompt, like example number 1, doesn't get you the point. Okay, the thesis does little other than state the obvious given in your prompt. In fact, rewriting the question, it's kind of like a waste of time. Something of which you have a limited amount of. Remember, your time is valuable. And space, because that information's already been provided. So don't rewrite it, right? The AP reader wants you to write answers in your thesis. Okay, example number 2. Egypt and Mesopotamia were similar in how they both had kingship and used agriculture to support a settled civilization. Well, Thesis 2 improves upon the first example by including specific similarities, kingship and the use of agriculture, right? However, this isn't going to earn the point because it doesn't address all parts of the prompt. There are no differences, and the prompt asks for both similarities and differences. So here are the two examples that I've given you that are unacceptable. So you'll need to develop your own thesis for your prerequisite work of your DBQ essay. And as always, email me with questions. I am here to help. Okay, I hope you learned something in this DBQ thesis video lesson. And I'll see you guys for the next one. Good luck.